morning, dudes and dudettes. You guys familiar with a gentleman named Edgar Casey? Edgar Casey had similar abilities like I do, and but he lived in a different time. In my time, I can sit there and predict like, oh, these people are going to do this, and then they can change my predictions. Yeah, it's back in the day when Edgar Casey was predicting things, like he could predict what kind of a season people are going to have, stuff like that, but they can go and change things. Today, everything's manipulated. Sports are manipulated. Business trends are manipulated. Everything's manipulated. So I can sit there and predict what would be the most possible, probable outcome if things were left to more of a chance, like Garth Brooks is talking about. But no, they can make any outcome they want to be the outcome. And so, you know, trends, political trends, monetary trends, everything, stuff like that. Everything is so manipulated, and people are manipulating one end against the other. This is not an organized group sitting there watching the Sandy Hook happen, the Boston bombings, this and that. This is a bunch of leverage groups working against each other, some trying to get the best possible outcome to try to get us all to be cool, and some trying to continue the status quo, which is not cool. Do you guys get it? This is what's going on. I hope you understand. Okay, you're in a very, very controlled society, an intensely controlled and managed society. Yeah, everything is under strategic electronic and surveillance with supercomputer hard drives that monitor everything. They know if people are, you know, plotting to mass murder somebody, this or that. Yeah, it's anything that happens has a form of deception, manipulation, and orchestration. Okay, some group is hiding the information from another group. Some group is promoting another group. It's to promote a certain agenda, to sell a certain agenda, and to create, it's to create conditions that look like normalcy in a world that's not as complexly and intensely surveyed as it is today and manipulated. Do you guys comprehend? I hope you do, because it's Big Brother, man. We live in Big Brother, big time. Okay? Every television set, PC, and phone is a monitoring reception device. Okay? As much as you can, it's just simple, complex intelligence, man. All transmissions go through government-owned satellite surveillance systems. So all electronic images and systems have reception and transmission that they can see, monitor, and listen to, and hear what you're doing. Yes, you're constantly being, And that's why a lot of the right-wing religious groups, people, you know, get off the grid as best they can, don't have phones, don't have computers, always paranoid about it. And the funny part about it is they can put surveillance equipment on a ring or a fly or in a cereal box. All the people that are like going through huge steps to not have phones and this and that and that, I mean, they have more surveillance equipment on or in them. Yeah, they can chip them with Intel chips in a flu shot, or not even a flu shot. They can put it in your food. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's like all these people that are like trying to live so far underground. You know, it's like. And then half the stuff, it's hilarious because you get a lot of these Del Gribble types, you know, that buy all these guns and everything and stuff like that, and they're going to hide this and hide from the government and all the stuff they're buying is from the government. Everything's dominated and controlled, manipulated, and organized by the government in one way, shape, or form. So they're going to war against the government, and everything that they're going to war against the government, they bought from the government. When you sit back and look at it from an intelligent perspective, you're just like, dude, what? You're buying guns and ammunitions and building bunkers to go to war against the government. Yeah, but you're getting all your materials and your food and your guns and your weapons and everything from the government. Yeah, okay. You can't buy and sell anything in America without the government's permission, including hash, marijuana. It comes through customs and gets to, never mind. It's all organized business dealings to create organized business. It's just business, man. Everything's just business. Do you get it? Ay, Dios mío. It's all just about business, man. It's all just about business. Organized crime. I was watching that movie with Martin Lawrence, the Mama's House, the third one with Brandon Jackson in. It was very cute, very fun, and everything like that. But you're sitting there watching it and sitting there saying to yourself, well, if we didn't have monetary, that's because this stuff is created because it's business. These are high-profile jobs. This is jobs. If people are addicted, it keeps them busy. It keeps them consuming. It keeps them distracted. This is just supposed to happen. It's not real. They don't care if people get murdered or killed. No, it's just part of the business, man. It's just business. And now it's to the point where it's like looking at it, and people are looking at it and going, oh, this business proposition and this way of doing business was very bad. It was bad investment. We probably should listen to Edgar Cayce and Herschel Snyder and Judah Krishnamurti and just a lot of the other people that have these ways of looking at things. It's very traditional to listen to people like me. In the old days, in smaller areas, it even affected civilizations like Egypt. I have a relative named Joseph, and Joseph had these similar type of abilities like Edgar Cayce. And there was a leader at that time. Actually, in some ways, you guys might say he was gracious enough to listen. The same with Nebuchadnezzar listening to my relative Daniel. But and there were all relatives, but these are close line relatives that have similar abilities, similar molecular structures, and similar and stuff. So we're close relatives. So me and Edgar Cayce are close relatives. Okay, not like exactly similar. Edgar Cayce's more like Joseph, and I'm more like a different line. My line is explained in the Quran and other files and stuff like that. I'm a close line similitude to John and David and Moses. I'm a lot like him. Okay, and there's other people in the family too. Okay, and there's another one called Abraham, and Malachi and Muhammad, and he's one of my close relatives too. And so he has a genetic similitude in my family line too. Do you understand? And he's typically a firstborn to a certain mother and father. Do you see that? Just like I am. In the book of Revelation, it says in there that he will be it says he'll have siblings. It doesn't say he'll be born of a virgin. It says he'll have siblings. So he's not a firstborn. I'm a firstborn boy, but not a firstborn. My mother had other boys and girls before she had me. But I'm the firstborn between my mother and my father, just like David. David was the firstborn between his mother and his father. But David is not Jesse's biological son. The mother went outside the marriage. He sinned her, David. If you go read the gospel, it's very evident. Bob pointed out to me, so did Haley. It's like, no, you don't send. Look at the hadith, look at the practice. Okay, if you go back and read about Joseph, when Joseph's put out there and the brothers leave him out there alone, I mean, Jacob just loses it. You leave the youngest here alone and you don't help him through. You always guide them through when you're here. When Abram's out in the field of his kids, he's always with them at first until they're old enough and mature enough to be able to do things by themselves. Or you always try, especially if you've got lots of sons, you try not to tend the sheep alone because it's just responsible. So leaving him out there alone was just, oh my gosh. Well, in David's case, David is like one of the youngest, and he's out there all alone with the sheep. And so when Samuel comes looking for the one he knows has a revelation to go get the prophet, the Messiah, the king, the leader, like Jesus, that's like Moses. Where is he at? He's in Jesse's family. So it's okay, I'll go to Jesse's family. He gets all the kids and comes and gets it like Cinderella. Okay, what about this one? He's my biggest and my strongest. He is my smartest. He's my this. He's my that. No, it's not him. He said I'd look in his eyes and I would know it. Is there not him? You're kidding. Well, is there anyone else? And there's David out there in the field. You mean Cinder David? You mean the one that Jesse doesn't like because he knows his wife screwed around on him? You can just feel it. He knows it. And that kid that's this half Sumerian kid that's out in the... Yeah, David. It's him. No, it can't be David. It's got to be my oldest, my biggest. It's got to be my kid. Not the one that she cheated on me with. Oh, hell no. It can't be him. If someone came to my house and said, your kids were special, I would say, yeah, they all are. Which one are you going to need to take? Well, I'm going to take Natalie. Well, okay, she needs one here. You guys are just doing that because I'm just kidding. Natalie is special in a lot of ways. Noah, they would sit there and say, well, we need them instead of Patrick. Me and Patrick would both go, oh, no, you can't take Noah. You got to take Patrick. Patrick's more special. He's more like Solomon. Noah's pretty special, too. Okay, we're all special. but it's just the right dog for the right job. And some of us have developed different kind of genetics to help, and you just have to sit there and say, hey, if this person has the ability to do something to help us all, right on, man. Right on, crouton. This is cool. Let's go do this. Now, we'll get to the next part. I'll do that in a second, guys. But this is the way this stuff works. I'm just a talented individual that's been rewarded, I guess, openly because of my deeds in a spiritual sense. So my molecular and relative structures transfigure into similitudes with some pretty cool abilities to help people out. And so, you know, Edgar Casey Adam, I got him. We're pretty continual. We haven't died off. It's all that people, oh no, all the apostles and everything were murdered off by Rome and other people and stuff like that, and the Templars had to protect the Grails, and the Grails went around, and they were all murdered off. And yeah, Pascal was murdered at age 39, and Hirschman Steinschneider was murdered, and Edgar Casey. We'll talk. I'll be right back. Blessings and peace.